Hey everyone, Todd from SideshowFX once again, and in this video I'm going to show you the installation process for our Reaper MIDI controller for Stream Deck devices package on the Windows system.
So one of the first things we're going to do, we have to hop onto the web and download a small piece of software that's going to help us align our ports.
Now if you've installed one of our other packs in the MIDI controller series, you likely have already gone through the process of downloading LoopMIDI and assigning the ports. You can skip this part if you've already done it. They use the same ports.
So opening up your browser of choice, you're going to navigate to this address, and the link will be in the description below, and it's also here on the screen for you. Make it easy for you to just hop over to it. And you're going to download this piece of software called LoopMIDI. So you just hit the download LoopMIDI, and then we're going to double click the LoopMIDI setup. And we want to make sure that the auto start LoopMIDI when logging in is selected. Very important. You got to make sure that this always will load up when you restart your computer, and that way you don't ever have to worry about aligning the ports every time. And then we'll agree to the license and terms. We'll install. Once that's done, we're going to launch. So once we've launched, we get this dialog box here. We're going to assign some new ports. So I'll click on the new port name. We're going to overwrite this. And the first one we're going to enter is Mackie to DAW. And it's case sensitive. So it's capital M and capital D. It's Mackie to DAW. And then we hit the plus sign. We've added that port. Do the same thing again. DAW to Mackie. Hit the plus sign. Now we're going to add another. This will be Stream Deck to DAW track. Once again, being aware of the case sensitivity. Hit the plus sign. And one more. DAW track to Stream Deck. Hit the plus sign. And there you go, we have our 4 ports all set up. Now we can just set this off to the side, and we're going to go to Stream Deck. And we need to install a plugin here. So we'll go to, we're in Stream Deck version 5, so they have the new store here. We're going to click on Plugins. In the search box here, we're going to type MIDI. And it'll be this plugin here that we want to install, MIDI by Treveligas Bell. Say install. Just takes a second. And once that's installed, we can close out the store. The next thing to do is go back over to your Reaper MIDI Controller folder that you downloaded from SideshowFX. And you'll see there's a folder here called Win Only. If we click on this, inside is another folder. And we'll click once more. And we have these 3 files that we need to move. And they need to go to a very specific place. And over here you can see it's the root of your C drive, program files, your Reaper application, which in this case is Reaper x64, and the plugins inside of that folder. This is where you'll need to take all 3 of these files and drag them straight into the plugins folder. I've already got them there, so I'm not going to do it. Now once you've got that done, start your Reaper application. Now we're in Reaper. We're going to go over to Options, Preferences, and in the left-hand pane you'll see Control OSC Web. We're going to click on Add, and for the control surface mode, we're going to select Mackie Control Universal. And for our MIDI input, we'll select Mackie to DAW. And for our output, DAW to Mackie. Say OK. Now we're going to move over to MIDI devices under the audio section here, MIDI devices. For the inputs, we'll locate the Stream Deck to DAW track. We'll double click that because you can see it says disabled at the moment. And we will select Enable input for both of these checkboxes. And say OK. Go into the output section, find DAW track to Stream Deck. Once again, it is disabled. Double click and just select Enable Output. Say OK. And then we're going to click Apply. OK. And there we go. We've got the Reaper part of this set up. Let's hop out back to the desktop. I'll minimize this. And we'll go back to our downloaded folder, our Reaper MIDI Controller folder. And you'll see there is a MIDI graphics folder here. These contain the graphics for the Stream Deck profile to display. Inside of this folder, if we click, we go into Windows, and we see this Travliga Spell folder. We have to drag this to a very specific spot, namely our Documents folder. Bring my Documents folder up. So it's just your PC, Documents. Click and drag and drop it straight into your Documents folder. I already have it there, so I won't do it at the moment. And we'll minimize these. And the next step is to open up Stream Deck. We're going to import our Stream Deck profile now. Go to the gear icon, flyout menu at the bottom, import. We'll navigate to our Reaper download. In the Stream Deck profiles folder, of course in Windows, you'll see there's two profiles. One is for the regular 15 key device and one is for the XL device. So whichever device you happen to be working with, that's the profile you're going to import. I'm working on an XL at the moment, so let's take a look at that profile. And once you've installed, this is what your XL profile will look like. Now you may have noticed, I'll go back to our download folder here. In the Stream Deck profiles folder, there is an extra folder here called To Copy. If we open this, we can see there's two more profiles, one for the regular 15 key device and one for the XL device. Now what these are, it's identical to the profile you just imported, but the difference is it takes the entire profile and packs it into one icon. So I'll show you what that looks like. So here it is here. When you import a To Copy profile, it's the exact same thing. If I double click that, or you click on the button on your Stream Deck device, it opens up the entire profile. Now the reason for this is I can click on this folder, right click, say copy, and I can paste this into any other profile that I choose. So at the time of this recording, we don't have our Reaper Pro profiles set complete just yet, but that's an ideal place for you to paste this into. But for now, let's assume that you're building your own profile. We'll go to a blank profile here. And you would select any blank button, right click, say paste. And now this entire MIDI controller profile is available at the press of a button. So it just saves you from having to switch profiles back and forth all the time. You can have this contained into a profile that you do a lot of your work in. So that's it. You're all up and running. I encourage you to go and take a look at the orientation video that we put together that details all the features and functions and how you use them. The link will be in the description below. So as always, thanks so much for downloading the program. We really appreciate you guys joining us on this journey, and hopefully they make a difference in your daily workflow and help you to be more creative and more productive. Until next time, we'll talk to you soon.